Hi everyone! In this video we are going to look at haikus. To begin, we want to look at what haikus are. Well, haikus are a form of Japanese poems, and haikus are used to paint a picture in the reader's mind. Haikus do not rhyme. Let's look at some further characteristics of a haiku. Haikus are composed of 3 lines. In total, haikus have 17 syllables. The first line of a haiku should only have 5 syllables. The second line should have 7 syllables. And the third line should have 5 syllables. Haikus describe the beauty of nature. And haikus use the senses for the reader to truly feel and absorb what the haiku is trying to teach them. Let's look at an example of a haiku. Green and speckled legs, hops on logs and lily pads, splash in cool water. Well, let's look at this haiku and see if it meets the characteristics. To begin, the haiku is talking about a frog interacting with nature, water in nature. So yes, we can say that this haiku is about nature. So we can check that off. And as well, it uses the senses. We can hear the sound of someone or a frog splashing into water, and we can think of the feeling of cold water. So we can use our senses when we're reading this, and we can see the frog hop onto a log or a lily pad. So it uses the senses, it describes nature. Now let's check the syllable pattern. Let's look at the first line. Green and speckled legs. Let's count this out by clapping. Green and speckled legs. Green and speckled legs. Yep, 5 syllables. So check, first line meets the criteria of a haiku. Let's look at the second line. Hops on logs and lily pads. Let's count that by clapping. Hops on logs and lily pads. Hops on logs and lily pads. Yep, 7 syllables. Let's look at the last line. Splash in cool water. Let's clap that out. Splash in cool water. Splash in cool water. Yep, 5 syllables. So this poem meets the criteria of a haiku, describing nature using the senses with 5 syllables in the first line, 7 syllables in the second line, and 5 syllables in the third line. And it doesn't have to rhyme. Let's try a practice. I have provided you with 2 lines of a haiku about green elms. Green elms are what you see in this picture here. Read the first line and the third line and look at the picture of the green elms and see if you can write what the second line would be. Remember that a second line in a haiku can only have 7 lines. It must have 7 syllables. It cannot have more and it cannot have less. So remember, line 2, 7 syllables. Try it. Now it's your turn. The directions are to look at this picture of nature and to write a haiku about it. Remember, the first line can only be 5 syllables. The second line of your haiku can only be 7 syllables. And the third line of your haiku can only be 5 syllables. The haiku does not have to rhyme. Take a minute to really look at this picture and see all the different things of nature that are happening. Then write your haiku. Best of luck. Let's try this one more time. So, again, please look at this picture of nature and write a haiku about it. Remember, the first line only has 5 syllables, the second line has 7 syllables, and the third line has 5 syllables. It does not need to rhyme. Take a moment, take in this picture of nature, and write a haiku about it. Thank you for watching.